Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a nice little trip to the Middle East, Morocco, Marrakesh, places like that for our recipe. So today we're going to do a lovely Mediterranean spiced, Moroccan spiced lamb steak. So I've got some rump lamb steaks here, I'll show you that in a sec. And then we're going to serve that there with a lovely flavorful mixed veg couscous. So we'll go through the ingredients and then we shall get cooking. So like I said, I've got some lamb rump steaks here, nice little thin ones. So these will be fast grilled in a frying pan, finished off a bit of butter, and that's it. For our actual spice rub, I've got quite a few little spices here. I've got some sumac, I've got a bit of cinnamon, a bit of smoked paprika, I've got some coriander and cumin, salt and pepper. So that's a nice flavorful rub. And then we will be using a bit of saffron as well, make that extra special dish. So for the vegetable couscous, I've got a nice medley of vegetables here. I've got some red onions that I've just diced. I've got some cherry tomatoes which I've halved, some sweet red peppers as well that I've got diced same size as the onion, and I've got some courgettes. So you want to cut them roughly the same shape, size, so when they're in the roasting in the oven, they cook evenly and at the same time. And then the couscous itself here, I've got 100 grams of couscous. This is just normal couscous. You can get the extra large couscous if you wanted to. So with this, what we're going to do is, I've got 100 grams here, we'll place this into the bowl and then we'll add 125 milliliters of boiling water to that, cling film it. We're going to put a bit of spice in there, cling film it, and just let that cook. It cooks through by itself. You don't need to put on the heat. You don't need anything like hot water. Just cooks that lovely, and it steams itself with us covering it with the cling film. So the first things first, we are going to get our Mediterranean vegetables in a tin with all our herbs and spices, and we will get it into our oven just to roast. And while that's roasting, we'll make our rub for our lamb. We'll rub the lamb and just let that marinate while our vegetables in our oven are roasting. Right guys, so the first thing we're going to do is get all our vegetables roasted. So I've got my oven set to about 190 degrees preheated, so it's lovely and warm. So I've got my roasting tin here with a bit of tin foil in there. So what we're going to do, I've got all my vegetables here. We are just going to get them in there. Just give a nice little toss. Give them a nice little toss and make sure nothing falls on the floor. Get all those distributed. Then next I've got some garlic here. I've got 3 cloves of garlic that I've crushed. I've left the skin on, because we won't use the garlic. I've got a bit of fresh thyme here. Get this lovely and roasted. Right, seasoning wise, salt and pepper as always. The 2 magic ingredients, I say, salt and pepper. For the salts, I'm using again my sea salt flakes here. I love using these. And for oil, we are actually going to be using some homemade chili oil here that I've got. So this is just, I've brought a pan of oil to the boil, added some chili flakes into it, let that cool down. I've dried it up. So we are going to get a couple nice spoonfuls of that. So that is now 3 teaspoons of our chili oil. This is just going to give it extra flavor as well to the dish. We'll go for one more, just to be on the nice side. Give that a nice little toss. And then this is now going to go into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Every now and then keep checking it, and then turning it. We don't want it to burn and we want to cook it evenly. So I'm going to put this into the oven now for about 10 to 15 minutes. And while that's in the oven, we'll get our lamb marinated in our lovely rub. Right guys, for our lamb marinade, I've got some more of that chili oil here. That's about 2 teaspoons of our chili oil. I've got all our spices here. I've got some saffron here. And what we're going to do is get all our spices, salt, pepper, sumac, coriander, cumin, paprika into this oil. And I'm wearing gloves for this bit, as we are going to Combine this all together to make a paste. Then what we're going to do is get some of that onto our lamb. Make sure one side's covered. Flip and get the rest onto our other side. Make sure it's all lovely and coated in our rub. Then what we're going to do is we are going to cling film this and just let it set outside. We don't want to put this in the fridge because when we cook our lamb we want it to be nice room temperature. So we're just going to let that sit while we're waiting for our Mediterranean veg in the oven to roast. Alright guys, for our couscous, I've got my 100 grams of couscous in a bowl, and what I've done is I've added some more of our lovely saffron, and then I've added a bit of dry chili, a bit of paprika. Basically it's like a harissa spice, paprika, dried chilies, all that goodness in there. And all we're going to do for this is, I've got 125 mils here of boiling hot water, so please be careful with this. We are going to put our water into there, we're not going to touch it, and then straight away we've got some cling film here. We're going to cling that nicely tightly, and we're going to leave that now for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes we'll uncling film it and use a fork to fluff it up, and then we'll add our vegetables into this, and then we shall get our lamb on the go. So we're going to leave this now for about 10 minutes. Right, next I've got a pan on the heat, it's lovely and hot. I've got no oil in the pan because all the oil is on our lamb. So we're going to get our lamb and start to sear them off and slowly render all that fat. You should start to smell all those spices as well coming through. Now we're just going to let that render for about 3 minutes per side. We are going to turn our heat down. So I'm just checking, see what colour we've got. Turn them. Cook nice and evenly. Sorry for the sound guys, I'm about to turn my extraction fan on because it's quite smoky. So we're going to flip. As you can tell there, lovely charring that fat as well. Some of that fat is going to get rendered, which is what we want. We don't want, when we slice this, we don't want it to be white, we want it to be nice and glistening fat. If it's like white, if the fat's white when you slice into it, it's still raw. So now what we're going to do is render that fat by using our tongs. We're just going to hold that steak like that. Lean it on the side. We're going to do the same with our other one. And now we're going to add some butter. Into our pan. Get that butter going. We're not going to baste it like a steak. The butter's there just for pure flavour. I'm going to turn them again. Another couple of minutes on that side. And while we're finished off our couscous with our veg, we're going to let these sit and relax. We're going to let our lamb steaks rest, like you do with any other kind of steak. What we'll do now is just get some nice close-up shots of you guys. As you can tell, all that fat's rendering around. We've got a lovely colour. So guys, it's been about 10 minutes. Our lamb's cooked. We're letting that rest. So I've got my couscous here, taking off the cling film. Got a fork here. Now what we're going to do is just slowly give that a mix. As you can tell, it has got a nice golden colour from that saffron in there, which is what we wanted. Nice couscous. And then what we're going to do is I've got my vegetables here. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to spoon a couple in. The thyme, just make sure you pick that out. A bit of thyme's okay, it's not a lot of, we don't want any of the big stalks. I'm using a spoon here because there's so much juice from the tomatoes and all the oil. You've got that garlic there, remember that. If you want to, you can peel the garlic and actually use it. Bit more. So we don't want to overpower this couscous with our vegetables. There we go, that's enough. And then we're just going to lightly combine everything together. Like I said, watch out for the thyme. And that is our couscous with our roasted Mediterranean veg. That's ready to be served now. So what we're going to do is we're going to plate up our dish. So guys, what I've done is I've plated some couscous with one of the lamb steaks. So all I'm going to do is show you what I did. So lamb, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add an angle here. Still nice and pink. That fat is now see-through, which is what we want. It's nice and glistening. So I'm just going at a nice angle here. I'm going to turn that, pick that up. And then we're going to arrange it nicely on our plate. Give our board a nice wipe down presentation. And we're going to arrange, make sure it's nice and clean. And there you go, guys. That there is just a nice simple dinner. Moroccan style, Middle Eastern style lamb rump steaks with a bit of vegetable couscous in that Mediterranean style with all those flavours. You don't have to use lamb, you can use chicken. If you want to use, you don't want to use the couscous, you can serve it with our vegetables as a side. I'm not going to put a sauce with this because that steak is still so juicy, you don't really need a sauce and you want all those flavours to come through. To me, I think a sauce will ruin it. So there you go guys, that is a lovely dinner for one person there. So guys, that's how I do like a nice Middle Eastern inspired dish. So we done like a Middle Eastern rob for our lamb. Serve that with some nice vegetable couscous, a bit of Middle Eastern spice in there, the saffron, all that. Chili and paprika in there as well. So if you enjoyed this video, as always guys, please hit that like button if you like this video. Leave a comment if you want me to make anything in particular. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, guys. I'm not in for this to make money. I just like making the videos for you guys to see all this lovely, amazing food that I cook. So thank you very much, guys. All the links will be in my description below for my website, my Instagram, my Twitter. And I would normally say my live streaming for Twitch, but that's on a pause right now because I want to focus on YouTube. If I do come back streaming, it will be on YouTube. So if you do follow me on Twitch, make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. So I might be live streaming on there. We'll have a think, we'll have a look, see what happens. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Probably going to be something sweet, as I keep promising you something sweet, so we'll definitely do something sweet next time. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you then.